Welcome to the Inspiration Station hosted by Joshua Lenox, the place to fill up your tank if you're in need of encouragement and motivation.
Hello, come on in, everybody. This is the Inspiration Station with none other than Joshua Lenox, your CEO, your Chief Encouragement Officer. It is April the 17th, 2026, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are live right now. As you guys are coming in, please, as always, as I ask of you, let me know how your day has been already, how this week has been. Also, if you've had some challenges that you've overcome, don't tell me what your challenge is. Tell me what your challenge is and also how you've overcome it, because we overcome what tries to come over us. Much love out there to everybody, YouTube Live, LinkedIn Live, Instagram Live, Facebook Live, and to our beautiful and amazing and wonderful listeners on Spotify, Audible, and Apple. Y'all, I don't know what to tell y'all, but I'm excited. I'm just thankful. I'm thankful to be alive. Let me just say that. I'm thankful to be alive. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for life. I'm thankful for strength. Tell me what you're thankful for. I'm thankful for endurance. I'm thankful for stamina. I'm thankful that I can hear, I can see, I can taste. I can eat because I love to eat. But anyway, I have movement, the activities of my limbs, the things sometimes we take for granted. We don't even think about it because it's normal to us. And I just sometimes take that moment just to be like, we should be thankful for things that we don't even think about or we don't always say. We might think it, but we don't always vocalize it. So anyway, y'all, this will turn into a straight up testimony service. So let me just keep moving. But as you guys, as I said, are coming in, I hope that you all have had an amazing day and still are having an amazing day. And I know this is your best time and favorite time watching with me now and listening with me. And also, if you'll be listening or watching later on, this is just your time to yourself to just say, what do you have for me today, Josh? Where do I get to just meditate and get to focus on myself for just a few moments? I want to say also, y'all, this jacket I have on, some people mentioned when I wore it not couple, but it's about, let's see, what we're in April, a couple of months ago, I think. And I have it on, and let me be clear, it is hot as you know what outside. I think right now it is about 83 degrees and it's 7 o'clock. So just go with that. But it's kind of cold in my house. Sometimes I keep it a little cold, especially when it's hot outside like that. And I don't get to wear my jacket outside often. And this jacket is it has become my favorite jacket. I know people gave me compliments. I want to say this was a gift for my birthday, a very special gift. And it is my favorite jacket now. And I don't get to wear it outside because I'm not going to catch on fire. But so I get to wear it sometimes. I will wear it. So you might see this a couple more times. So just to be clear, y'all, it is cold in my house. So don't think that I'm sitting up here sweating or anything. Or losing my mind. Somebody want to call a number and say, Josh, something's going on with him. It's hot outside and he's walking around with that jacket. It's just in the house. But it is my favorite jacket. It was for my birthday. So I will wear it as much as I want to. And when it gets cold again, I'm wearing it outside as much as I can. So thank you to those who had a compliment. I just wanted to point that out because I hadn't worn it again, but I have it on today and I will have it on again. So just look for it. So let's go ahead and get started. If this is your first time and you're new here, this will not be your last. I'm glad that you're here and just want you to tune in. I hope you really just enjoy yourself and you see what we're all about, because this is not just about me, the Inspiration Station, Joshua Lenox. I'm just the vessel, but this is about all of us, because the Inspiration Station is where we realize we're not just inspirations to others, but we're inspirations also to ourselves. You come through some trials, tribulations, challenges, obstacles, but you also come through many victories, successes, so many great things that you've done in your life to reflect back on and say, you know what, there is nothing that I cannot do. There's nothing that I cannot conquer. There's nothing that I cannot attain because you've done it before. So sometimes you have to go back into your own toolbox and your own treasure chest, as I like to say, and say, you know what, let me refer back to that because I need that motivation right now where I'm in my life to push me forward, to remind me, hey, you got this. There's nothing you can't do. Also, here on the Inspiration Station, we're open, we're honest, and we're vulnerable, not with just each other, but with our own lives with ourselves, because often the relationship that is neglected is the one that we have with ourselves. And we're not doing any of that. We want to make sure we're loving on ourselves, taking care of ourselves, and making sure we are at the utmost and healthiest, optimal position and version of who we are right now and who we're continuing to become. There's also a thing here that I like to say is that we're not just here to hear motivation. We're not here to just hear inspiration and encouragement, even though you're going to get all of that. That's just what this is, the inspiration station, hence that. But this is where we apply what we learn and moving you into some sort of action. And sometimes the action doesn't mean that you immediately leave the broadcast and you just go do something, or you might, but it might start as in your mind, something changing your thinking that maybe implements a way of changing your footsteps. So changing your thinking first, then which cause your feet to move. Y'all almost got a little tongue tied. I think I was trying to rap and it just didn't come out. But y'all don't know I have skills. Like I used to rap back in the day. You ask people about me, I was cold. I was good at it. I could wrap birthday gifts. I can wrap Christmas presents. Whatever you need, I still can do very well with that. But also, we got to laugh, right? Y'all know I don't have no sense. But we also have people who will be coming on here to be interviewed just to give us some nuggets of their life, some wisdom, also some humility and vulnerability to let us know that we're not the only people who deal with certain things, but also give us some tools to put in our tool belts and also some things to put in our first aid kit. Are y'all ready? I'm ready to get started. Y'all, if y'all can't tell, I told y'all I'm excited. I'm on one today, and I'm not going to be before you long. And this is not some Baptist preacher thing. You know, so I'm not going to be before you long, and the preacher be up there for 2 hours, but. I want to jump right into it, y'all, as I hope that you all are continuing to have an amazing Friday, and we'll do the same in this evening or whatever time you're watching this. And then also, so glad that you're spending this time with me and we're here together. So, what's today's title? Y'all want to know what it is? Let me put it in the chat. What you think it is? What you think it is? Y'all don't know because you never know where I'm coming from. I know you never know. I'm like a wild card. You don't know what I'm going to talk about, right? So you should be on your edge of your seats, right? So let's sit on the edge of our seats as good students, as we're going to learn something today, right? But what this title today is just called the ice cream truck effect. The ice cream truck effect. The ice cream truck effect. I know your mind is going like, okay, Joshua, the ice cream truck. First of all, some of y'all probably got hungry, or you probably got your sweet tooth probably stood up for a minute, or you probably heard a jingle or heard a song in your head or something. And as it's getting so hot, this is usually when the ice cream trucks come out, right? Well, first, before I dive into what we're going to talk about, I want to share something that kind of correlates to it. It's a parallel. Quick story about when I was a kid, really quick. There was a guy, I used to actually go stay with an older couple sometimes when I was about four, when my mom would be at work and I would stay with them. And it seemed like I was their entertainment. I was the adult. These people were like older couple, and I would keep them in line. I make sure they got up, clean their beds, clean their, but they were family, and I was the adult. I probably was a 4 year, but if anybody knows me from when I was a kid, I was an adult. I was in my place. I knew how to be in a child's place, but I conducted myself in such level of maturity, you would forget talking to me that you were talking to a kid, and I would go over there. And one time I was out in the yard and there was a truck that came up and I heard the noise. It was a factory behind their house in the alleyway. And I heard the truck make this weird noise when it stopped. And I was like laughing. And they were asking me, what you laughing at? They called me Zeke. That was my nickname. They was like, what you laughing at, Zeke? And I was like, the truck noise. It was funny. Y'all don't think that's funny? And a white guy came around the truck and I waved at him real big, and I was like, "Good morning, good morning." Just that was always me. I'm still the same. He's talking to everybody, smiling at everybody. And when he went in the building, he came back out and he came to the fence and he said, "Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am." He said, "You mind if I give this young man these Coca-Cola?" And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And he gave me these two. And now back, I'm telling my age, but they were bottles. They were not plastic bottles. They were glass bottles, and you could not just screw the top off. You had to get the little, I can't think of it, but you had to pop the top off of it. He slid them through the fence. I was just telling them thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and the two family members, they were telling them thank you as well. And he said, anytime you see me out here, you just give me a holler, and I'm gonna come over here to speak to you, and I'm gonna bring you some Coca Cola. You don't tell a 4 year old that, especially because my memory, I remembered, I locked it in, so I was like, bet every time I see him, and I started calling him Coca Cola Man. So he would come every time, and we could be in the house. I knew he was there because I would hear that noise when he turned his truck off. And I'll be Coca Cola Man, Coca-Cola, man, just as loud. And I would do it maybe 2 or 3 times. And it's like he could hear my voice probably in the building. He'd come and he'd give me the 2 Cokes, and I would ask him how he was doing, how his day was, and to have a good day. And he would talk to me. And sometimes, y'all, he almost forgot. I'm telling you, he forgot I was a kid. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, today was this morning started a little rough, but everything's gonna be all right. Me and my family and this, that." And I was just sitting there listening. This went on for a while, and I even remember one day he must have had a bad day, and he was in there for a long time. And I mean, y'all, I was out there, Coca-Cola, man, for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, this man then brought me my Coke, and I want to see him. I want to talk to him. I felt like also, if I could see him, maybe I could be a part of his day. Maybe I could make him laugh, or maybe I could make him smile because he worked so hard. And I thought like that even as a 4 year old. And he came around really, he looked really down. And he was moving really slow. And he said, "Hey, bud, sorry it took so long. Here you go." And I said, "Are you okay? Do you need a hug?" And it was just natural. That's just how I was. And I went around the fence to hug him, and I thanked him for the coat, but I wanted him to keep one for himself, and he gave me one. Like, he didn't have a truck full, but he kept the one coat and I kept the other one. And sometimes you just don't even know. Even though he was supplying me with something, I was supplying him with something. And this is why I'm telling you this story, because of what it's going to take us into with the ice cream truck effect. But yes, he had something he wanted to give me. I was giving him something in exchange and didn't even realize it. Maybe he needed to see a little bright 4 year old on his route in that morning, to maybe be a part of starting his day up. Maybe brought him some joy. Maybe brought him a little laughter, because I was silly. And I know hearing my voice even probably would make him crack up. He's thinking like, "Oh, he's out there. Let me get out there and get him his 2 Coca-Colas." But bringing him some level of joy in that moment. But he was bringing me joy, because the Coca-Colas were very good, but I would only be able to drink just a little bit because they used to be very strong. Anyway, y'all, so let's move on. So, have y'all ever really noticed with the ice cream truck how it does not chase people down? When you see the ice cream truck, you don't really even see the ice cream truck yet. You hear it. It's a sound. But then you see people are running towards the truck. People are running after the truck. The truck is not running to chase people down. So keep in mind with that, because it attracts people. The truck attracts people. And I want you to think about for just a moment, you being the ice cream truck. You see what I'm saying? The ice cream truck effect, that's you. I know you thought I was talking about something else, but I'm not. So you are the ice cream truck. So keep that in mind. With the ice cream truck, which is who? You, right? When you think about a literal ice cream truck, it carries people's desires, obviously, because now, like I said, think about as a kid, you hear that ice cream truck and you go running, you hear whatever nursery rhyme, whatever song it was playing. If you was in the hood, it was kind of a little bit of a remix. It might be something totally different, but you get the point. So, or I'll say in the urban communities, it may have sounded that way, but you hear it sometimes before you even see it, and it's already getting people's attention. Again, you are the ice cream truck, so keep that in mind. With it, what does the ice cream truck carry? It carries people's desires. A lot of times there's joy, sweetness, relief, things that people are really wanting and they don't get all the time. But as soon as they hear that sound, your voice, or even when they see it pull up, your presence, they come running, because they know whatever you got is good. And they've been waiting for it. They've been hoping for it. You coming around whenever you do, and it's like, we've been waiting on you all day, or we've been waiting on you all our lives. Just stay with that for a moment. Because when we talk about having the people's desires, there are things implanted in you, just like inside of let's walk it out. You go inside of an ice cream truck, or you look in the inside, it's got everything. I mean, it ain't just ice cream in there either. If you know, like I know, it's like there's snacks of all kinds. You have the chips, you have sodas, you have all kinds of dessert cakes and all kinds. I mean, I even remember seeing some that had hot dogs in it. Hot dogs and hamburgers. Sometimes it just depends on what type of truck that is. And again, just like for you, you might be the ice cream truck, but what's inside of you, people are not even expecting to usually see that. Because I have seen a variety. I've seen where it's just ice cream in there. I've seen where it's ice cream, chips, honey buns, oatmeal pies, crackling, potato chips. I mean, I can go down the list. pretzels, whatever you Slim Jim, beef jerky, all kinds of things, almost like a gas station on wheels. But I've seen other things as well: hot dogs, hamburgers, all the types of things, freeze cups, things like that. And that's just like you. You have things that people desire that bring them relief. You have a certain thing of where you bring people joy. You make people want to get up and do something because now when they see you, they got to come running. They hear your voice, they're coming running. It's like also, you remember like going on your family, you can go into somebody's house or something and you talking to something, somebody in the back room, like, I know that ain't such and such. Boy, boy, girl, if you don't come back here, because now they heard your voice, so they know you're there. And it's like, oh, I feel different now. You just changed my posture. You made me feel better. That's you. Also, it doesn't beg for attention. An ice cream truck just has to drop a track. Okay. It just has to have the jingle playing and they're coming. They don't have to be, the ice cream driver does not have to beg for attention. You don't have to put out flyers. You don't have to announce yourself. There's a lot of things even with you. And I don't want some of y'all to start going so far as thinking like, but what about if I'm in my career and I need to market myself and stuff? That's great. That's good and all fine. But when you show up on the scene, there are people that are going to naturally gravitate to you in any way, whether when you were in school, whether it was when you were in certain activities, when you're at church, when you're among your family, when you're even among just strangers. When you show up, you pull people. People are gravitating to you, whether it's your sound of your voice that they hear and something connects with them or your presence. Um, and as I said, an ice cream truck just plays a sound and people are coming running at the neighborhood. I mean, or trying to rush, hurry, the ice cream truck coming, give me my money, hurry up, hurry up, hurry. Also, with an ice cream truck, it knows its route and timing. It knows where it's going and it knows what it has a certain schedule on when to show up, just like you do. There are certain things in your life where you might not specifically know where you're going at the moment, but then there's certain points in our lives where we actually are recognizing the direction we're going in, and we know our boundaries of what areas to go in. And again, I don't want you to think just locally. This is also globally, and whatever you're doing with your life, personally, professionally, in ministry, whatever it is, there are certain things with you that you know that there's a certain level of direction that you're going in, and certain boundaries or areas that you're in. Sometimes I would say, like, I always go to like arts and entertainment, but someone may know their route is to be among celebrities or famous people, or again, just in the entertainment industry, period, whether it's on stage or whether it's in the backstage, but also knowing their timing of when they're supposed to show up, when they're supposed to be where they are. Just the same for you. There are certain places that you know you have a route for. When you see an ice cream truck, you see their ice cream truck, they have a certain route. That's why you know usually when, and also you also learn when they're going to show up. You know where they're going to be. So if you miss them on this street, you might be able to catch them on another street. That's just like for you. When people are needing to see you, they need what you have. They have started to learn your pattern of how you're and your consistency on where you show up, how you show up, and what time you're going to be there, because they're always going to be looking for you because they expect you because of what you bring. You are not just a person, you're an experience, and you're expensive. And that, I'm gonna get into that in just a minute, but you're an experience. When people are in your presence, you're an experience. That's why people want to keep coming back for more in whatever you do and in whatever capacity that is. Also, with the ice cream truck, I want you to think about what's on the inside of it, which is you're the ice cream truck, but what's on the inside of you? You got gifts, you got favor, you got talents, you got abilities, you have feelings, you have emotions, you have opportunities even on the inside of you to give to other people. And not everyone is going to get everything that you have. I want you to think about that. When people go to the ice cream truck, they're not going to get in there and say, yeah, let me get one of everything. You might have some people, I've seen people go, I mean, with bags and being like, hey, let me get a bomb pop, let me get a fudge pop, let me get a push up, let me get a bag of chips, let me get this. And I mean, they go down the list, let me get some candy, let me get a blow pop, let me get some gummy bears, whatever it is. Everybody's not going to come to you for everything that you have, because everything you have is not for everybody. And I'll give you a quick example of that. It's almost like if an artist, again, I'm going arts and entertainment. If somebody is a singer, an entertainer, they're an actor or actress, but they also have a clothing line, and they have maybe I don't know, we'll just stay with that. Everybody's not going to gravitate to them being a movie star, but most people might want them for the singer. Everybody's not going to gravitate to them being a brand with clothing and things of that nature, but they might ascribe to seeing them as a movie star. I'm just giving you a quick example. So everything that that person possesses or what their output is, everybody's not going to want all of that. They might want some parts or just one part. So the same for you. You have so many things inside of you, but everybody who comes across your path or they're coming into your life or whatever it is that you have to supply them are not going to be looking for all the things you can give them. It might just be one area. Also, your supply does not come from the crowd. It comes from the source, which in our case, this is God, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It does not, people do not come to bring anything to the truck. They come to consume. So nobody's coming from off the street saying, or coming into your life just immediately saying, "Hey, this is what you need for to give to people or whatever." Even though that can be a case, but what I'm saying is what you produce, what's been put on the inside of you, your giftings, your callings, your talents, your abilities, and things. Those came from God. They didn't come from people. So what people come to you for, God has been the source of that. He is the source of that. And that way nobody can take it away, even though people can try, but nobody, this is not The Little Mermaid where Ursula took Ariel's voice away. Oh, and all of a sudden she took her voice away. She couldn't sing. Nobody can take your talents and gifts away unless you let them. Unless you let people get too close and then they end up trying to steal or break into your ice cream truck to rob you of what you have blindly. That's another thing. I'm not going to go down there. The key message I want you to think about before we jump into the phase two of this is just you never have to chase what's meant to come to you. Okay. You just keep showing up wherever you are. You never have to chase because as soon as people hear your sound, it's going to be like a dog whistle. You do a dog whistle and the dog goes like this and they adhere to whatever it is. That's who you are. When people hear your whatever you're doing, when people can see you, your presence is something people are going to automatically be drawn to. And I know some of y'all probably right now like, but I don't think people be drawn to me like this. I need you to think again. What do I always tell you? Go back to your Rolodex or go back to some things in your life where you recognize there are things you have done and things that you still do that cause people to be drawn to you. Probably causes people to the right people to draw to you and the not so right people, the favorable people and the unfavorable people. But either way, people are going to be drawn to who you are. Also, when you move in your purpose and who you are and what you're here to do on earth, the right people are always going to be drawn to you. The right people are always going to be drawn to you. You notice again, like I said, with the ice cream truck, they're in a specific area. But I don't want you to ever put yourself in a place of where you're just thinking like, oh, I'm just in a local area, just in a neighborhood. No, your neighborhood could be globally, or whatever that is. It doesn't, we're not using being that literal, but we're meaning that what you possess in a sense is greater and bigger than where you are, but knowing that you know your area and what you do, and that's why people are going to always be drawn to you specifically, not any other ice cream truck that's anywhere else, maybe in another community or maybe in another area. It's a reason why those people are always running to you and running after what you have. Also, your job is to stay filled in emotion. Always stay stocked up. Always stay stocked up. So that means always pour into yourself, always encourage yourself, always take care of yourself, always pray, asking God to fill you back up, to strengthen you, to give you endurance, to give you stamina, to give you wisdom, to give you strength, to give you patience, whatever that is, give you joy, because there are things you need to stay filled up so that you can stay in motion because you got to keep moving. You got to keep going to where you go. You have several destinations to go in your life. So we need you to continue to have this output, but you got to restock to make sure you stay full and stay in motion. Make sure you keep that gas in your tank, even though it's $1 million right now. Anyway, last thing, really quick. One thing I want to say is when we think about ways that we give as the ice cream truck, I want you to think about what you're giving out to people and not just literally what's inside of an ice cream truck, but what's inside of you. You're giving people your time. That's access to you. That's also your presence. And time is expensive. That's the one of the things we do not get back. So if somebody is giving you their time, be grateful, be thankful, be appreciative, honor that. Don't waste it because time is of the essence. And it's limited. And it's the only thing that we don't give back, but we do give this. to others. This is output that we do as the ice cream truck. We also give energy. Energy could be your emotional support for people, your encouragement, even you covering others in prayer, um, uh, covering people in prayer, covering people in support. Always being the person to uplift others, showing up for people. That's the same thing. I'm giving you my energy. Wisdom. You might be teaching people lessons, teaching people insight, giving people guidance, counseling them, coaching them, pushing them, supporting them, being their cheerleader, and learning at the same time, cheering them in the right direction. These are things, again, what we give out as the ice cream truck. Also, you might be bringing people peace. When they come into your presence, they feel calm. You present a certain level of environment, and this is what makes people want to come back for more to you or come to into your presence because you are safe, you are stable, you bring up a level of security. Their guard is down. They don't feel like they have to have weapons out. They don't have to be on the defense. They don't have to be on guard with you. That can be very contagious. That makes somebody want to come back to you more. And even in all the things that I'm listing that we give out, make sure that you have boundaries because again, everybody shouldn't get access to you in that way. But again, as the ice cream truck, remember the person is behind in a vehicle and just have an opening through a window, so they're protected and they're guarded. Everybody can't come in the van, but you can approach the van. I like that. You can't come in the van or the truck, but you can approach it. Also, joy, just your personality can lift people's and change their whole mood. People see you, people hear you, and it can change their whole perspective on their day, their mood. Also, as the word says that, we put on this garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. I remember asking, we had a coach one year at UTC when I danced, and I asked her, I said, how can I be a blessing to people when we travel and people see us dancing and, people are always, wanting my autograph and pictures and stuff after, but how can I be a blessing to them? Do they see God's glory on me? And she was like, absolutely. Somebody could be coming in here depressed. People could have been dealing with marital issues, death, all stress from work and all this stuff. She said from the weeks and stuff. She said, and you smiling and dancing with all this energy can change somebody's garment. It can probably take the heaviness off of that person while they're watching you during the game. And I was like, I never thought about it like that. So even for you, your voice, your presence, and who you are can lift people. Also, access. And this is big. When people can have proximity to your world, your network, or even your perspective of how you see things, how you move about. These things are not to be taken for granted. And again, this is what we're giving out to people. And this is also what's drawing people. Also, these are things I want to list really quick, some things that people or ways that people are actually paying without money, paying us. Because when you approach a ice cream truck, you got to pay for it. You can't just say, "Hey, can I get a bomb pop for free?" No, you paying at least $1.25. Well, now it's probably $5. I don't know. When I was a kid, it was 50 cents. But what are people paying you when they approach you? Other than money, because again, for many of you, you have careers, you have businesses, you're entrepreneurs, you will have people who are consumers. They're purchasing things from you all the time. They're buying things. They're buying services from you. So yes, we need the money. Let's not be dumb about it. Let's be clear. You might donate some stuff sometime where you free up yourself, or maybe not. But other than money, what are people paying for to us? Attention. People investing their focus and their interest within us. Also, honor and respect, how they value and treat you. That's important. When people approach you, are they and or people close up to you in your life, or whether again that's family, friends, social networks, um, peers, colleagues. I mean, I can go down the list. Are people coming to you and giving a level of attentive, being attentive by giving attention, being invested in you, being focused on you, being interested in you? Are they honoring and respecting you, the value that you have? And are you watching how they treat you? Are they consistent? That's another thing. They should be giving us consistency, showing up and not just consuming once. This is a repetitive thing. You don't just come and then, okay, that's it. When people see the ice cream truck, they're going to keep coming because they love what they're getting. They love the service that they're giving. They love what you bring. So the consistency is something that they're going to be giving to you. Reciprocity, pouring back into you, even in their own way. And even let me be clear, if we're even selling anything, sometimes it's just somebody such a good thing to get gratitude from their customers and saying like, I really appreciate all the hard work you do. I love your products. I love what you do. This is why a customer, and I tell all my friends about it, my family about it. But also, not only in that, when we talk about pouring back into what is giving us output or whatnot, I think about the Coca-Cola driver. I literally would be just as talking to him and asking about him. I cared about him. I was glad he brought the Cokes. That was great. I just like talking to people, especially when I was a kid, especially adults. I love to talk to adults. And not knowing I'm pouring into him just as much as he thought about me to come bring me some Coke and be they didn't sound right, Coca-Cola and bring me those drinks and just to be kind to me and for me to talk to him and be this bright-eyed young man, that was like reciprocity. What are people bringing? These are what people should be bringing to us as well. Trust, being open enough to receive what you carry. Can you trust people who come to you to be open enough to what you carry? And I want you to think about this in every area. Don't get caught up in the transactional things about sales. But when people are coming to you and in your life, for whatever that reason is, are they open to receive what you have? That takes a level of trust. Because even like as a counselor, I'll say, I always tell clients when they first come to me, I'm like, they'll tell me immediately after the first session, I feel so safe with you. I didn't know what to expect. I was nervous. I was scared, but I feel safe with you. And I'm just like, I'm glad because you don't have to trust me. You could be like, does he really know what he's doing? Is he really going to be a person I could be vulnerable with? Is he somebody who I can feel safe with? And the fact that when they tell me in the first session, I was scared at first, I was nervous, but as I started talking to you, I felt very comfortable. I wasn't sure about counseling, but I feel like I'm okay. It's like, okay, that lets me know there's some level of trust here that they're giving me based on what I'm able to provide for them. Last one, alignment. Alignment. Just like our car, you want to have the front in alignment together. Your car going in the ditch, but are you being in the right place and season where people are receiving from you? Sometimes I'll say this as a quick example. In college, I remember doing the dancing, singing in multiple choirs, doing in leadership in other areas, and then also having to keep my I had a full scholarship, so my academics had to be on point. In some seasons, I was busier than others. I was sometimes tremendously busy, and sometimes even doing a traveling stage play. So sometimes I was very busy, but at the same time, some seasons were kind of, cool, calm, collected. So it's like when people are coming into or to pay you in a way without money, showing that they're showing up in a certain level of alignment at the right time in the right space or season of your life. And that can be in any type of anything you think about. Anything you think about, and even if you want to think about consumers, it's like as the ice cream truck, they only come out when it's warm, so it's seasonal. But are these people showing up at the right time when it's appropriate? Nobody should be showing up in wintertime outside to receive what you have because they're not going to see you, but knowing when to show up. Okay, it's time now. Friends, family members, colleagues, people you're doing deals with, relationships, romantic relationships, people who you want to date, whatever that is, people showing up. And what are they giving you? They should be giving you some level of alignment. So you like, yep, it's time for you all to be in my space, in my life, consuming from me, whatever it is. As we're entering the exit, are y'all getting this? It's so fun to me. And it was something I didn't even think. I was like, ice cream truck? I was like, God, what am I going to talk about? The ice cream truck? I was like, about what? Like, how's that going to correlate? And I'm like, oh, wait, we're the ice cream trucks. We have things that we give output, and people are always coming and gravitating to us. And please don't get it twisted of thinking like, oh, if you don't have a large following or a large people who are after you or a lot of people in your life, that's not the whole premise of this. What it just means is that your presence, as I told you, you're expensive. You're expensive. And when people hear you, when people see you, they're gravitating to you. That's why you have to be mindful of making sure you still have boundaries, stay behind the window, like the driver of an ice cream truck, because you have so many things inside of you that are valuable and need to be protected. So you can't let everybody in that space, especially when you're pouring out and giving out to people. And also recognizing what is important for people to give to you as they're coming into your presence, as they're coming because of the sound of your voice. They're coming because of your sound, just like the ice cream truck. All it has to do is play a sound, play a tune, and people are running. So, what I want you guys to take with you is that you're not empty. Okay. You're carrying something major. So, keep your music on and keep moving because what's for you will find you. I'm gonna say that again. You're not empty. Think about yourself as the ice cream truck. That's why you gotta keep yourself stocked up, right? Remember, and keep it moving. You're not empty. You're carrying something major. Keep your music on. That's what people go to hear it. They're coming, and keep moving because what's for you will find you. You keep that sound, keep that tune, keep talking, keep showing up. And also, our sound isn't always coming out of our mouth. It could just be in your movement. In your movement. Somebody could hear you coming and they're like, it's something about that person. I don't know what it is. There's something about that person that's it's making me gravitate to them. Lastly, I want to say everybody's not paying in dollars. Even though if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, sales, all that stuff, got you. But everybody's not paying in dollars. But everyone pays in something. The question is, are they paying in a way that honors what you carry? Everybody's not paying in dollars, but everyone pays in something. The question is, are they paying in a way that honors what you carry? Okay. So one thing I want to say before I end this, no one should come before you empty handed. No one should come before you empty handed. And I'm not talking about just money. People should be able to give you, even if you are a consumer, you got to pay for this. So there has to be some level of exchange. And as I mentioned, if people are coming to pay us or coming before us, they have to give some level of attention, honor and respect, consistency, reciprocity, trust, and also be in alignment with us, be in alignment with who we are, be in alignment with what we produce. All right. Everybody take a breath. I know everybody wants to go get an ice cream sandwich now. I can feel it in my spirit. But I hope that you all have enjoyed tonight because you got the ice cream truck effect. And you make sure you let everybody know that in your life, I got the ice cream truck effect. All I got to do is start speaking. I'm just playing. Don't be acting like that. Be confident. Don't be arrogant. But it's important for you to know there are major things in you and there are things about you that continue to draw people to you. You just also don't turn your music off. Don't turn your sound off because sometimes that's what probably many of you have done. And that's because you weren't sure if people would be drawn to what you have, be drawn to your sound, be drawn to your talents, be drawn to your giftings, be drawn to your abilities, be drawn to your skills. So you turn your music down. You either turn it off or turn it down. You minimize yourself. You made yourself be in such a small proximity. And as I kept saying, I just don't know why I want to keep driving it home. Because when we think about an ice cream truck, we think about neighborhood. The neighborhood could be the world in this case. It doesn't have to just be in a small area. It could be the world. It can be the world. Because your gifts, your talents, and abilities can go around this entire world without you even having to move. Just because of what you produce, things you'll be able to put out in the world without you leaving where you live, things you can produce and you put out in the world. And a lot of you are doing that already. But I want to ask you, what have you turned the music off on? Or what have you turned it down on? That maybe you should be putting it on blast because there's people waiting for you to show up in their neighborhood, in their car, in their homes, on their shelves, on their stages. They're waiting on you to show up, and you didn't think people were going to come running, but I promise you they will. I promise you they will. All right, y'all, I'm gonna let that go. I love y'all. Let's make sure we share this. Make sure y'all continue to subscribe and like and all of that good stuff. I love to see just the connectivity of people on the different platforms and how people are sharing and things of that nature. So, of all things, we give God the glory for this and what this is doing. And I'm glad that we're all a part of this together. I will see you next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And my international people, my people out there, family out there, all across the waters and things, you know when your time is. And whenever you want to be here, I'm glad that you're here. And I'm glad that some of y'all are even watching right now over in other countries. And it is morning time. So good morning. So I love you guys. Please have a wonderful rest of your evening, morning, day, weekend. And I look forward to seeing you guys next Friday, as always, right here. Love now more than ever. Love now more than ever, y'all. It starts with you. It starts with you. We need the unity, and it starts with you. You've always been great. You're just getting better, and you have finally learned to embrace it. You've always been great. You're just getting better, and you finally learned to embrace it. And let me tell you something. Keep that music blasting, because I'm telling you, in your Mr. and Mrs. Ice Cream Truck, keep your music blasting, because you'd be surprised at who's been waiting to hear you, and they're ready to break out of here. Wherever they got to go to get to you, they're coming. All right. Love y'all. Talk to y'all next Friday. Stop talking. I gotta go. Love y'all. Bye.
Thanks for watching The Inspiration Station with Joshua Lenox. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.